You've reached call in Mockery.
And oh, hey there, all our fans. Ow! Welcome back to Call in Mockery, the show where you call and we balk.
Since the last episode, we have not had any new message.
Oh, what's this? We actually do have one.
Oh.
You ever listen to podcasts before? Thank you.
Okay. So it sounds like, have you ever listened to podcasts before? Thank you for the question, caller. By the way,
question.
319-HADWIP1 if you want to ask us a question. HADWIP1. HADWIP1. We're here for you all week long. I should do like a...
Yeah, that's cool.
Have you ever... Sorry, the question was, have we
ever listened
either
to...
of us ever listened to a podcast?
Well, I don't think they specified individually.
Oh.
So they just, I
Together.
believe said they said, have you guys ever listened to podcasts? Mm-hmm. So to me, that's saying as a group, a unit, have we ever listened to podcasts? No.
Yeah, I can't think of a single time, my man. I don't think
there was that live one.
Ours or one we went to? Yeah, that's true. So that does that count? We didn't sit together.
No, that's true. We were in a fight.
Yeah.
Sat on opposite sides of the room.
I said...
Sad, really.
Yeah, it was a big deal for it because of the live show. And the maitre d' was like, hey, you guys know where you're sitting? This is something that happened to me at another show I went to recently.
Yeah.
I go to sit at my seat at a show I went to in a theater, and they're always usually more than willing to help you.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in general admission. They're like, let me check your ticket. I'll show you where to go.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm going up there to where everyone's standing. Like, let me just check that for you.
Yeah.
Like, I got in the door. I'm not lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking for my seat, and the guy goes, you look like you know where you're going. And I was just like, yeah.
And then you sat on a guy's lap.
Went to the other side of the balcony, looking around, have no idea where the seat is, end up getting help from someone else.
Oh.
They bring me to a seat that is 2 seats from where that guy is standing that said, you know where you look like you're going. And then he just looked at me because I told him I did. And I went on this wild goose chase
Liar.
all around the place and then sit right next to him. Then he probably feels like I didn't do my job because I didn't ask him. I just said,
He probably felt like that one guy at Barack Obama's State of the Union who was like, you lie.
Yeah.
You lie.
Who was that?
Remember that, guys?
Do you remember when George Bush had someone throw a shoe at his... I saw a video somewhere where someone said George Bush had a shoe thrown at his head, 2003. And then one of the comments underneath it said, shoes. And he was right. The guy threw 2 shoes.
Yeah.
And the video shows 2 shoes being thrown, and they said it has a shoe thrown at him. So someone felt like they needed to correct
the record. I think that's fair.
Sir, can we say that he had shoes thrown at him? What are you trying to do? If you hit the president with a shoe, nothing happens to him.
He's fine, and you
go to jail for the rest of your life.
Probably. Do we know what happened to that guy?
Oh, I don't want to specify, but I saw some pictures from Abu Ghraib that haunt me to this day.
He's probably on some lists.
Yeah, there's a shoeless Joe Jackson out there somewhere. Doesn't that bring you back?
What?
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh,
Just think about when baseball was like, baseball!
People were like, what? It's the greatest sport anyone could ever think of. You just are bored for 3 hours.
Well, they've made it better now, right? They made the...
Yep, we had a little pitch clock, so you have to pitch faster. I don't know. I don't care.
The bases are. Have you seen the bases compared to the old bases?
Yep.
It's sort of like how my mom recently went to a movie and she said, "Do I go see it in the super deluxe screen for like $5 more per ticket?" And I said, "To be honest, if you didn't know the screen was bigger, like I'm telling you it is, you wouldn't know."
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Well, I don't want to miss out." So she went to the big theater, and then she talked to me on the phone and said, "If I hadn't have known that the screen was bigger, I wouldn't have known." You get what I'm saying? I said, "Yep."
Did you like the movie?
She said it. And I'm not telling you what it is, but she said it. She said she was exhausted afterwards.
It was Star Wars. It was episode 1.
It's episode 1. She went to see
saw the
Phantom Menace.
No, but yeah, baseball sucks. That movie sucks. And
Yeah.
this is Colin Mockery.
So we're here to. We got our drinks here. We're just gonna pop them open.
Ooh, that is really good.
Fresh. You know when you pop something open and it's just the bubbles they hit almost too hard? That's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah. By the way, what flavor are you sipping on?
What do you have? I gotta find mine here.
Mine is Unparleavable.
Where'd you find?
Liquid Death. Yeah, right on the front there.
Mine says Liquid Death.
Yeah. It's the brand, our sponsor. We love you.
Interesting. That's cool. It says a Convicted Melon. That's good stuff. You guys are killing the game. You're killing plastic waste, and you're also absolutely killing the game. You're murdering my thirst and killing the game. Hey, you should be in jail for all this. First of all, you're killing the game.
Killing the game.
Second of all, you're murdering thirst.
Youch.
Can I say that I had jury duty if I don't say what it was about?
Yeah.
I had jury duty. And man, I'm trying to think about what I can say. There's maybe should not have even brought it up.
You can say, well, you weren't, you can reveal that you weren't
I wasn't selected.
selected.
But I was there for about 8-9 hours. And I was just, what my point is to you is that it's not as exciting as you think it might be.
Everyone, well, especially after that show came out.
I was a little worried. I was doing a little.
Yeah, tests.
I was in a sort of Truman Show, sort of disassociating state of mind because I was sort of paranoid because there were cameras around, and I was like, okay, so those are probably the cameras, so I can't do anything too crazy.
And you kind of know, like I do, the LA improv scene. So as soon as Lisa Gilroy shows up, you're like, well, that's Lisa Gilroy.
Right. I know you, and I know you don't live here. Like, so there's 2 strikes against you. A, you're famous.
You're
B,
in commercials.
You're in commercials and
Even
stuff.
if I wasn't a fan of LA-based improv.
And I know you're doing a character.
You're very obviously doing a character. And it's funny.
Yeah.
Of course, everything you do is gold. Lisa, please. Everything you touch is gold. It's true. Gilroy, I'd like to call her Midas, because what she touches turns to gold.
Funny stuff. We love it, don't we?
The other guy
2 drums.
The other guy was on Parks and Rec, like a recurring character. You're like, this guy never saw any TV. Anyway, you know all that stuff, so you're not getting got by the guys in Hollywood who are trying to make you look like a chump.
Which
on
is probably
TV.
why I wasn't chosen.
Yep.
Because they put us in one room for about an hour.
Yeah.
Just with nothing going on. So I think at that point, that's when I'm like, they're trying to get us in some sort of mood. They're trying to get something to happen, right? And then they move us to another room and they're doing all, and I'm like, a lot of this stuff that's going on could be to drive someone insane. So I feel like there's a chance we might be seeing some very funny season 2 of Jury Duty coming out with someone that I was in the room with.
Wow. Maybe you'll be in the
I wish I was in. I mean, can you
the
imagine
room where it happened?
The room where it happened. The room where it happened. There he is. He's Mr. Hamilton. I've heard he doesn't weigh a ton because he's real and he's thin and he's here to say he's gonna help build the USA. Well, okay, Mr. USA, is that what you think? What happens if I give you something green and pink? Do you know what that means? It's a lollipop. Everyone knows that it cannot stop. It cannot stop the plop. You can't stop the rock. Rock and roll is here to stay because we're living in the USA. There is something about being in this brand new country. I can't wait to hear about it. It's not ugly. There's beautiful people on the streets. One of them is named Andrew. Andrew Hamilton, is that you? Glasses aren't what they used to be. He's right. Glasses aren't what they used to be. These spectacles are a little bit wobbly on my face. And when my powdered wig gets a little askew, they get tangled up in the frames. Objection, objection. And then... You're going to jail. Curtain falls. Act 1 is over.
Wow.
You ever been to a play?
Yeah.
I was looking at, I'll be honest. I'm be out of town a couple months. I'll be in New York City. And there's a play with guy from, what's his name? Give me quick. Knock at the Cabin.
Josh Gad.
No, Knock at the Cabin. The one he was.
Mindhunter. Dave Bautista.
Yeah. So Dave Bautista and Daniel Radcliffe are going to be in, and I was like, you can just go see them?
Yeah.
Just doing their thing.
That's New York, baby. That's the Great White Way. You
Here's
can go
what's
see.
crazy.
Go ahead.
Daniel Radcliffe is in a play. Down the street, Cursed Child is playing.
Isn't
you
that
think he ever goes down there and he's like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? Hey, the guy with the scar on his head, you look mighty familiar.
Hey, Hermione, you look quite different.
You look quite different. Oh, but you were always written that way. Okay. Stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Just Broadway goofs.
Humor. I think...
Probably tries to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like he doesn't really want any part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And who can blame him?
Well,
It
you
only
gave
made
me
him who he was.
You gave me my career, but I don't stand behind you. Just cowardly stuff. Don't clip that.
What is that guy's name?
What is that crazy guy's name?
Mindhunter. I like that guy. I'll go watch a play with him in it.
Well, why don't you come with me?
Jonathan Groff.
That's it. The play's only $200. I mean, geez up.
G's up. You could see that, and then you could go to Gutenberg with Gad and the Anthony Rannells or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
from Girls. Mm-hmm. And they always bring someone out. I don't know what the play's about. I just see clips where they bring Steve Martin's here, and they both have a hat that says Gutenberg on it or something, or they're have a T-shirt that says producer. Yeah,
it kind of sounds like Too Much Tuna, but not funny. Where they bring someone out, they're like, Tuna Fishy, or whatever I can't do. I'm not allowed to do the voices. But goodness gracious.
Goodness gracious, that's New York for you, though. Hey, that's exciting for you. Yeah, thank you. That is excited for you. Oh, by the way, I do want to say, hey, guys, hey. Hey! And I do want to say, I too was on a little trip recently. Interesting. Yeah. Tell me a little more about that as a down. Well, there's just a couple other things I wanted to say that I saw while I was away. Sorry, you're talking about as a follow-up from last week's episode. That's right. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, if this is your first episode, first of all, welcome. Hey, guys, hey. And second of all, Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman. That's how I get into character to be in Civil War or something. Okay. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just saying his name. Yeah. So what? You went down south? Went down south. Okay, but now here's what I want to talk about for this topic, for this week. there are shirts. You know, you go to any place really, but especially on the beach, like a coastal city.
Ooh.
All of these little, especially touristy places, you have these gift shops that have T-shirts, right?
I'm closing my eyes and I can see it before. It's almost as if I've gone there all my life. And then the print, the shops with the shirts.
Hi, how you doing? Hey guys, hey.
Huh?
And the shirts, they have the place you're at in 16 different varietals.
Yes.
Charlestown.
The beach.
Yeah. But then they have novelty shirts.
Like Charleston Shore. And on the back it says like Southern Snooky.
Yeah. But then they have novelty shirts that aren't even related really to the place you're at.
Oh.
This is, I mean, I've seen it before, like on Venice Beach in California or something, where it's just like shirts.
Like like Wisconsin Dells will have that.
Yeah, where it's just like, where they have like big dog shirts.
Yeah.
Still, somehow. You're like, those are, you still doing that? But this, so they had these that I've never seen these before. They were called Sea Dog. So similar to Big Dog, but this dog is at the sea.
I feel like I can see where they got their inspiration.
So on the front, it would just say like Sea Dog, that marine life or something. A little. Also, this is something else that I'm kind of brushing up against. Recently, the move has been for T-shirts to do the little the breast patch,
the pocket, no pocket,
but the logo
Yeah.
up there, and then on the back is the thing. That's been seeming to get more popular. I kind of want the graphic on the front.
But are you talking about, because I've also seen this, which is to me unforgivable, but it's the same.
That's
It's like
that is unforgivable.
The breast
Yeah,
graphic is small and it's just the same thing on the back but large.
that's bad.
It's
That's
like, at
really
least,
bad.
Like, I don't like put the horseshoe there or whatever, and then on the back it's like the horseshoe and the 4-leaf clover, and it says "Lucky Mofo" or whatever. It's an element.
Yeah,
But I'm with you. I understand.
I feel like the graphic better suits anyone on the front.
Unless it's tour dates. Stick that shit on the back.
Well, if it's tour dates, I'm
outta
not
here.
buying the shirt.
Yeah, that's
But these Sea Dog shirts, they would have Sea Dog, and I think the little dog is on the front. But then on the back, it would be 15 different versions of this, where it would be like a mermaid holding her breasticles, hand bra,
yeah.
and then the Sea Dog would be next to her with the bra in his mouth, and it would say, "Let the puppies free, Sea Dog."
Naughty dog.
And I was like, okay, I get like it's, sexy beach stuff. Okay. So then I looked at a different one, and it was the dog had taken the bra from a girl again.
Yeah, naughty dog.
And it was like, again, another saying of like, these mounds are made for looking at or something. I don't know. Something crazy where you're like, what? And I was like, what? So I just looked through all of them. And
Yeah,
there were
that's why you were looking at it.
there were like 8 or 9 of them. I think only one was him like drinking rum on a
Yeah, eating a snow cone.
he was like drinking rum on a little ship. I was like, well, I guess whatever, but
Was there a mermaid or something?
there wasn't on that one.
Okay.
Well, maybe there was, but she had her shirt on. But every single other one was him taking the bra from a girl.
Yeah.
Why? Does a dog want to see the...
That's beach life.
But a dog.
It
Why
seems
does a
like-
dog want to see a human mammalian breasticles?
It seems like a fallacy in their pun game. Like with one of them being "let the puppies breathe." It's like, because he's a puppy and because we call those puppies.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, we do. We do call them puppies.
We do.
And they do need to breathe. The sweater puppies need to be set free, et cetera, et cetera. But it just seems like they're trying to mix a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
What is a sea dog?
Well, that's the other thing. And then the dog just looks like... what was that dog that would travel in time?
Wishbone?
Yeah. It just kind of looks like Wishbone. And it's not like a cartoon dog. Like it's It's a regular artistic rendering of a dog who's just horny.
So he's like little?
He's like,
That's
okay,
weird.
maybe he's not.
Well, wait.
He might not be
Wishbone.
He's not.
He may not be Wishbone.
He may not be Wishbone.
Sea dog might not be Wishbone. No. I was just thinking if it was like a Saint Bernard, then you're talking big dogs, and they're just taking the idea whole cloth.
No.
But that's just that's that kind of old guy thing, right?
I guess, but I just don't.
Because it's on the edge of being raunchy and it's sort of making a joke.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the whole?
I'm trying to pull one up. I can't find a single one.
I don't think they exist.
I made them
He's
up.
like looking up Sea Dog Naked Mermaid shirt puppies.
But yeah, you're probably right. No, I can find them, just not the ones that I would. Maybe it's a Charleston exclusive.
He's like, yeah, I'm only finding awesome ones.
These are all cool, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, it's
just kind of interesting. It kind of made me think.
The
what are we
topless
doing
mermaid is the beach look, right?
Yeah. But meanwhile, I'm walking around looking, not a single topless mermaid.
And you know what's funny? And I'm gonna save some of this for my stand-up routine. But you ever notice how when you go to a nude beach, all the people there are not the people you want to see nude?
See? Chasing tail. He's trying to pull the pants off this lady.
So that is sort of the suntan lotion girl, right? But she's older, and now we're like,
now we think it's hot. When
Yeah.
before we thought it was
that was a
cute.
Dalmatian.
Yeah, it's a Dalmatian. I was wrong about the wishbone aspect.
Yeah, so that's a 101 situation.
I guess.
You ever think of Cruella de Vil as like cruel devil?
Why would I think of that?
Oh, no reason.
Look, I got a couple other things from my trip,
Yeah,
but
because that one went well.
I thought it was interesting.
It is. It's just these weird shops, man.
It's the weird shops.
It's fascinating, and people buy them, and they're like, "Look what I got." 100% that happens. I've seen my cousins with their weird shirts that's got like a topless mermaid on it. I'm like, why are you wearing this to the family reunion?
But it's just the aspect that I don't even care about the topless mermaid. In fact, I like it.
Yeah,
The aspect to me is
the
strange
dog.
is the dog. Why
he's
is
a
this?
naughty dog.
But why?
He's mischievous. He's trying to help you. Maybe he doesn't know, so it's like sort of this accidental thing.
So he's
So
just
sort of like, I'm just taking, because she was maybe suntanning, where you lay down and there's like, you know, you put your, and I hate to be so crass, but the melons go down on the sand and they've undone their bra, right?
Yeah.
Dog sees the bra, they see basically it's like shoestrings. So he
Okay.
pulls on it,
All right.
pulls it away, and she's like, "Hey, get back here with my bra." So
I
she
just-
gets caught like this, and then a photographer is like, "Hey, over here!" His light bulb goes off, and he gets the dog taking the bra. But then to him, he's probably thinking, "Let those puppies breathe."
free. Let the puppies free.
Yeah, either way, free the puppies. I mean, yes.
I just think the look on the dog's face is like so proud. Like he tried to do it.
Yeah.
And like he's happy about it. And also if you zoom in, there's like a lipstick.
Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, you should have brought that up earlier.
So anyway, on the way home, we got an airplane with the movie. We love an airplane with the movie. On the way there, no screen, no movie.
But did they have the holder for your phone like a lot of them are getting now?
No.
That's the American Airlines way.
And I like to read on a plane. I don't like to watch a movie, even if it's an option. I pull out my book and I turn the little light on and everyone around me is mad.
Yep, because they're trying to sleep or something.
It's like, it's a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
Just grow up. I got to finish this 1980s science fiction book that I've never heard of, but I thought looked interesting. That I just had to grab for $1 right before my trip.
And now you're stuck. You got to finish it.
I got to finish it before I get home because it's not great. So
You're
I just
not
want to be
gonna
done with
not
it.
read it.
No. Anyway, flying on the plane, but I do put one. It's still one of those where they give you the free earbuds. Then you have to plug it into the armrest. I have one ear in watching Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Just slightly, because I can't really hear it anyway because the plane is going.
Yeah.
These planes don't work anymore.
We got to do something about planes, don't we?
It's louder than I remember
Yeah.
from the last time I flew.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder the doors are flying off.
I know you can't hear. They'll be asking you what you want.
Yeah.
And they're like, crackers or whatever, biscuit. And you say, yeah. And they're like, which? And
You
you're
only
like,
get one.
I'm just saying, yeah, because I don't know what you said, but whatever food, like whatever sustenance you can give me.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else. I can't read. I can't watch anything. I get so nauseous. I'm a dork.
You ever take a Dramamine?
Yeah, I'm going to try the patches this time.
There you go.
Because I've heard those might be the way to go. Because I can't do, I look at my book and I go, no, I'm going to fall off the earth. I try to watch the movie. One time I looked up, everyone is watching The Big Bang Theory. I felt like I was in hell. It was like, I'm not kidding. It was like 15 screens watching The Big Bang Theory. That's what everyone chose to watch. And so I'm like, I can't, and I just have to look ahead and I can just kind of see the screens just for 2 hours.
Sheldon knocking on Penny's door.
So
That
crazy.
famous-
Someone's watching Game of Thrones and there's a ton of nudity. So I am doing a little naughty dog sort of. I can't do anything though. I just hear.
Did you get spoiled Game of Thrones? Was it the episode where Ned Stark gets killed?
Ned Stark got killed, and then
Shoot.
and then I heard them saying something about Red Wedding.
Well, anyway, on my flight,
Yeah,
you could have
my flight.
You could watch Mean Girls. The 3 movies. No, 4. There was one like indie movie, which was it looked someone in front of me was flipping through them the whole time, just watching
Couldn't
like
decide.
5 minutes
Yeah.
of each. And I kept flipping back to this movie, Jules, I think it was called. I was gonna go look it up because it looked kind of interesting about a little alien kid. In
So
a
they
small
weren't on
town.
demand.
No, it's one of those where like it starts at the beginning of the plane and it ends when you get off the plane.
Yeah.
So I tuned into Mission Impossible Dead
Yeah.
Reckoning, but it's not on demand. Mm-hmm. You can't just start it whenever. You
Yeah.
just have to tune in. Does that make sense?
Right. It's basically like a TV channel.
Yeah, but it's a movie that's like in theaters.
Yeah.
still. But it was it was Dead
Been out
Reckoning,
for a year.
Mean Girls the musical, and Top Gun Maverick. Two
Okay,
Tommy
two
movies.
Toms, yeah.
And-
Two Toms, that dog would be having a heyday.
And I see a couple people watching Maverick, but I didn't think the flight was going to be. I thought the flight was going to be. Actually, wait. The flight ended up being so long that I finished Dead Reckoning, which was crazy because it was not supposed to be. We sat on taxiing
Oh,
for like a full hour. So anyway,
nightmare.
I just wanted to see some of the chase scenes so I could look up from my book and be like,
Awesome. Yeah.
that's cool. And then go back to reading because I'm an intellectual. But I saw Top Gun on a couple screens, and then I looked over to the guy on the other side of the aisle who looked like Coroner Woody from Psych. So he already caught my eye because he
Yeah.
looked like a famous, to me, person. But I noticed he was watching Top Gun. So I was just, every once in a while, I would just kind of look around as you do on a plane. And I was watching him, and he had his little earphones in, and he was literally an inch from the TV screen, like rubbing his chin. Like he couldn't take his eyes off of it. He was so into Top Gun Maverick, and I was like, God, that is a good movie. To the point where like they would come through with drinks and stuff, and he'd be like forget where he was. He's on a plane.
4-inch screen.
It's a tiny screen, and he's just. And at a certain point, he kind of leaned back and just took a breath, and went back in. I was happy for him.
That's great.
What a great movie! Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
It's good.
Saw it in theaters. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Tom Cruise. One time I was on a plane, Reese, one of the last times I was on a plane, and you're looking and you kind of see through the seats in front of you, see what's going on. And the woman in front of me was going through the pictures on her phone, and she was going through and deleting all the nudes of herself.
Whoa.
So I just kind of glanced, and I just saw full naked photos of the girl sitting in front of me, and then she's kind of deleted, just sort of like routinely like, well, I can't have these on here. That'd be embarrassing. And so I was just like, okay, go back to whatever, staring at nothing. Can't do anything. Can't do anything. Little trays there. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get some work done. Get my iPad out.
Can you listen to music? Or?
Sure. I'll throw a podcast on.
There you go.
That's kind of all you can. That's all I can do is just put a podcast on, listen to some music.
Yeah.
Got the AirPods in. Even the noise cancellation makes me nauseous. What am I supposed to do?
Drive.
Knock me out.
You want us to B.A. Baracus your asses?
Can't. Why isn't that an option? In modern times, it's like you got a 3-hour flight. We can put you out for 3 hours. Take this, you'll fall asleep.
I mean, you can't
I tried
you?
Benadryl, doesn't do it. I'm just mean like they do it. They medically do it.
They can barely fly the damn plane.
That's true. And then what am I supposed to do? I guess if the plane goes down, what happens to me? I'm asleep.
Yeah. Well, that's the price you pay. You want to get the...
No, the price I pay is egregious. It's like $300 one way.
And they can't even fly the damn plane.
You keep saying that. I'm starting to get worried. There was one time I was on a plane and we were about to land and I had an aisle seat so I couldn't see, but we went this way all of a sudden. And as we're going down, then all of a sudden they went back up really fast. And the guy that can see out my window, he looked down and he's like, that shouldn't be happening. And he just kept going, that shouldn't be happening. And I was like, what? He's like, I don't know why that just happened. This shouldn't be happening. And it wasn't like, I don't know why the pilot's doing that, but he was looking at something and saying that shouldn't be happening. So I'm like, the wing's gone. The wing's gone.
But why is the wing gone?
But stop saying that. Like they have to land. And someone probably landed before. Like something normal is happening, but he was just like, that shouldn't be happening out there. Like,
Well, it is funny because, any sort of turbulence or anything, everyone kind of looks around. But then there are the seasoned flyers who are just like sleeping through the whole thing, or like they don't look up at all when the plane just fell 20,000 feet out of the sky. You're supposed to act like it's normal.
the flight attendant who's walking down the aisle, like their head hits the ceiling and they keep walking. That's my respite. Is like, well, they're like, they don't care.
They don't care.
I know it's safe if she just like they go into zero gravity.
Like in Dead Reckoning, when
Yeah.
the train and they... That's how it looks.
That's why it's crazy to watch like Maverick on the plane too. You're like, you're on a plane. Watching a movie about a plane. I mean, maybe that's what the guy was just like, this is crazy.
That's why. Yeah. He wasn't taking any of it in. He was just like,
I'm watching a movie about a plane.
they're on plane, but I'm on a plane. Anyway.
Yeah. That's plane life, though. You got to get used to it. But it's fun. You go to the airport.
That's
you go to any good airports?
No.
What else can I talk about? Sometimes they got like, there's the airport in the one I went to that was in Portland. They have a movie theater in there.
Whoa.
That's just showing films by like local filmmakers on a loop. So you walk
that
in.
would be good.
And this is my point. You walk in, it's not good, and no one else is in there.
Yeah.
So you're just like, well, I did that for a minute. You have 2 hours to kill. So
Yeah.
you're like, they're showing a documentary about someone who makes bad pottery. It's like some local documentary.
No, that is cool.
You go, okay. Like if I was stuck there for a while, maybe I'd go sit in there.
But 2 hours, I feel like 2 hours is kind of a perfect amount of time for a layover.
What are you doing?
I'm reading my book. No, here's the truth. On the way there,
Finally.
here's finally the truth. Truth. On the way there, Mr. President, thanks for joining me on the Stern Show. You'd hear about this? Anyway, we talked about Stern last week. Pretty good interview. On the way there, 2-hour layover in Chicago O'Hare, one of the biggest airports.
I just asked if you went to a good airport. That's a big one.
But they put you for the flight we were taking, you're in a little wing.
Oh, right.
You're not in the cool place.
Yeah.
And you feel like, well, we can't walk around the whole airport.
Yeah.
We have to stay in our
And you
side.
got your stuff with you.
You got your stuff. You don't want to, because it is 2 hours, but you're like, this is a big dang airport. I'm going to get on the other side of O'Hare and then have to run back to my gate.
no, it's been an hour.
So, you grab something to eat, you hang out. And I said, God, when the podcast finally takes off and we're doing we're doing a tour and stuff, I can't wait for this. just me and my buddy flying into town. We have a layover, a couple hours. That's just funny. We do a podcast while we're laying over.
That's good. It's just help. I don't know, help grow the podcast while we're doing the podcast.
That's just
we're on
awesome.
the road for the podcast, so we're doing it at the airport. There was one airport I'd love to take you to.
Wow.
There's an indoor tram system to take you back and forth. And then I found out I was on the wrong side of there. So it was shaped like an H. So I'm on one side going like this. And I'm like, where the hell's my gate? Turns out I got to get off, go through the bar of the H to the other side.
I think I've been there.
But at least I'm doing something. But if I'm by myself, I don't need the 2 hours.
No.
I'm telling you, this is a jury duty situation. I'm going insane.
Yeah.
I'm pacing around. I'm like, let's do the thing. But then I also don't want to sit on the plane. And I've had I don't know, the gate attendant call me out for it. He's like, you really waited it out. Last one on the plane. You really wanted to be the last one on, huh? And I was like, I just don't want to sit in a seat.
Well, because
They're like, yo, you get priority boarding. You get to sit on the plane for an hour before you take off. You don't get to stretch your legs. You don't get to do anything.
You get to sit on the plane and then be mad when the rest of the people come through and you have to get up for them to get to their seat.
So I'm fine.
Without fail every time.
I know you're going to tell me when you're about to take off.
Yeah.
I don't need to then wait. And then you're waiting in line, standing and getting bumped by everyone. Sorry.
Group three now boarding. What's it matter? We're all going on, right?
The only problem with that is that somehow there's not enough room for everyone's carry-on.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, you don't get that. So one time I had to put my carry-on all the way in the back, even though I'm sitting closer to the front.
Yeah.
So then I have to wait for everyone to get off so I can go to the back to get. It's just a mess.
It's a mess.
It used to be so cool. Remember Pan Am? We were all flying around, sleeping with the flight attendants. We're all smoking our cigarettes, putting them out on the window.
Yeah.
You're just like, nothing can kill me. We're going to live forever. You're just like, just from city to city. Oh, go. God, that takes me back. It's 1960. I've just gotten on the...
But here's the thing. On the flight back, we also had a 2-hour layover. But for some reason, the first flight was delayed. But they didn't tell us that until we were on the plane. So we're sitting there. We wait for 45 minutes because they're waiting for 3 passengers from another plane that was delayed. But they didn't ever tell us that. So we're just sitting there like... Everyone's getting mad. The tension is rising to a degree I've never felt before. And finally, like one guy runs on. He's like, I am so glad they waited. And everyone's like, oh, why didn't you just tell us that? So anyway, finally everyone boards. We get there and then they taxi for another 30 minutes. You're driving. And this is at Chicago again. You go over the little, over the interstate. Yeah, the little plain street.
You wave at everyone.
We went over, parked, went back over because he was like, well, our gate wasn't ready, so we had to come over here where they rerouted us. And then they brought us back. We went across the bridge like 3 times.
There's room to just wait. I don't know why they're like making you drive back and forth.
So then our 2-hour layover turned into like 20 minutes.
Yeah, then you got to run.
So that's why I would prefer to wait 2 hours because I don't want to miss my next flight.
Because there's the possibility of, yeah.
Or just fly direct, but by God, that'll cost you, won't it?
Well, you could do skip lagging or whatever, and that's illegal as hell. And we'll kick you out of the airport if you ever do that because you actually saved money and you tricked us. Oh, God, but the planes. If you got any crazy planes, stories, hit us up.
Yeah.
And by God.
And it still is the safest form of travel.
Mm-hmm.
But with the recent doors and landing gear and wings on fire and stuff, there is a worry that crosses your mind like, it'll never happen to me. The odds are outrageous. But also, everyone thinks that before it happens to them.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, there's people that fly for their job every week.
Yeah.
For years and years, right? So what are the odds that me taking my odd plane trip every 2 years is going to be on? People on that plane, it's probably their first plane trip ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. The door flies off.
It's crazy.
But
no, it's safe.
It's very safe. Yeah. Doesn't stop me from being sick as hell, but I just get to sit there and
That's
go,
just because you're cool.
Can you guys hear this on the mic?
I can do it again.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I had a good plane story. I had a good plane story, and now I have to vamp. I'm trying to think about it. Have you ever been to camp? He said yes, but you couldn't hear him. It was nonverbal. He a squirrel. He a squirrel. Squirrel.
Did you get it?
No. What else you got going on?
Maybe next week. Been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid.
That's a lot of editing, don't you think? A lot of censorship that has to go on.
Well, yeah, at a certain point, you're like, well, why do they even have to be naked? They can just be afraid.
Honestly, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I feel vulnerable enough just being afraid in the wilderness.
Well, because every time, at a certain point, you're watching it and you're like, I could do this. But then I remember, but you're naked.
Yeah.
And I say, I'll never do that.
Nah, there's a lot that could, I'm just thinking about it. I'm like,
one of them, the guy he's like they're building their boma.
Say no more.
And they're like using needly brush to make sure people or, animals can't get in and stuff. And he goes, oh, and his little partner's like, what? He's like, scratch my jewels. And somehow he lasted. That would be enough for me to say,
I'm done.
I'm tapping out. I can't do this.
I can go home.
He did tap out like 10 days later because he was a bodybuilder. No, he was a professional boxer. He's like, I can't lose this much muscle mass. I have to go home. She was like, what? Are you serious? And he's like, sorry, I just want to eat. But didn't you know you're signing up for 21 days with no food, no clothes,
That's
no
when
water?
I get frustrated when they go, yeah, I can't do it. Like they've been doing fine. They're just like, well, I can't do it because of something that I knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, then why did you even wait this long? Like that, why'd you get your jewels scratched for nothing? If you know, because what do they win?
I don't know.
A pair of pants?
Probably.
Because like if you know, well, I'm not going to make it to the end to win the prize or whatever.
Yeah, just leave.
Or
don't sign up.
Why do anything?
Why? It was just so weird. Like, did he imagine he would be eating a lot of protein and be able to do push-ups and stuff?
Imagine you've got protein. It's easy.
That's AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what he thought? I mean, it doesn't sound like he thought much of anything, to be honest, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So,
if you're a boxer, don't go naked into the woods. What else? Enjoy your plane rides wherever you're going this summer. We'll be looking out for you.
give us a call if you've ever been naked or afraid. Give us a call if you've ever been on a plane. Joey will think about his good plane story.
Yes. Like we always say, I'm a man. but I can change if I have to, I guess. From Red Green. He used to be on after Saturday Night Live. So,
With that, we say, as we always do,
bye guys. Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.